It's been 10 years, 10 grueling years since the death of Patrick Star. Murder. SpongeBob's life is dull and mundane without his best friend, and the case has gone ice cold in the crime-ridden Bikini Bottom. SpongeBob had just about given up hope for justice when new evidence is found. Can SpongeBob find Patrick's killer before fate takes its bitter course? Hey guys, I'm Siren, and I just randomly got a spur of a moment desire to do something sort of new. You guys know my bad fiction series where I was reading a really bad story that me and my friend wrote a few years ago. Well, I came across this article about this Twitter account that posts lines from really bad fan fictions, and this one just caught my eye, and I searched it to find a match, and I read a little bit of it, and I was like, I have to read this for my channel. This specific story is called No Going Back by richiesan, and it is a SpongeBob SquarePants fan fiction. Now, it's 2 in the morning, I'm really just desire to do this, so I want this to be really an unedited kind of narration that I want to attach some unrelated gameplay in the background, so it's kind of a minimal editing kind of thing, just something I can do for fun that maybe you guys will enjoy. I hope you guys enjoy this, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Now, I don't want to insult this guy's writing, because from what I've seen, it's really very good writing. It's just a hilarious subject, and it's perhaps meant to be hilarious. So, I'm just gonna read it and see what you guys think about it. Now, like I said, I haven't read much of this, only like the first couple lines, so this is, I'm all going in all blind, so. This is No Going Back, a SpongeBob fanfiction, and this is Chapter 1, New Beginnings. There was always fire in his eyes, a fire that could never be quenched. Then he found his poison. SpongeBob SquarePants was but a simple man when he first started his work at the Krusty Krab, but all things change, especially fish. SpongeBob originally started the fire when he went to that place for the first time, the Clam Casino. The concept of gambling was always something far-fetched in his mind, and never really understood why people would throw away their money like that. He eventually learned it was a drug. Another round, please. I don't really know how to do SpongeBob's voice, so. SpongeBob shouts drunkenly at the clerk. The clerk looks at him uncomfortably. You've gone way over your limit, buddy. I think it's time you called it a night, he responds. I'll tell you when I've had enough, SpongeBob says so forcefully bubbles flow from his mouth and pop in the clerk's face. That's it, you're out of here. Security! The strong fish guards come up and lift SpongeBob up. SpongeBob wandered on the road alone, and drunk as hell. I walk a lonely road. Sorry. He couldn't have driven even if he wanted to. He was such a failure. He hated the walks home from the clam. He hated being alone with his thoughts. The only driving force in his life was his beloved snail. SpongeBob knocked on his door drunkenly. He had forgotten his keys. Again. Gary was taking a surprisingly long time to open up, he pondered. After an hour passed of him lying on the ground waiting, he decided to break into his own house. SpongeBob stumbled to the left side of the house, clenching the window. He looked around for something to break the glass. He could always call a repairman. It was another fee under the mountains of debt, anyway. SpongeBob turns and sees just the thing he could use to break his window. Squidward's house was made of solid rock. He would just break a piece off. SpongeBob climbs on the side and begins to pull on the house. It won't budge. SpongeBob remembers a jackhammer that he once stored in his basement. SpongeBob opens the basement door, and it's clear that it hasn't been cleaned in ages. Not since what happened to him and his friend. There was another door in the basement that led to the house, which was unlocked. But SpongeBob did not remember since he was still in a drunken stupor. Plugging in the jackhammer, he angled it into the side of Squidward's house. The vibrations rocked Squidward's house, shattering the windows and breaking pieces of rock off his house. Once a sizable piece of wonderful masonry comes off the side, SpongeBob collected his loot. Arms tired, SpongeBob uses the last of his strength to throw the rock out at his bedroom window. SpongeBob was always thinking of the future, and he knew that he would want to be in his bedroom right away. The window submits under the rock, without any trouble. He could have sworn he heard a shout under the shattering of the window. Despite this, he begins the ascension of the pineapple.
Hey, what the fuck are you doing out there?
Squidward shouts. SpongeBob's face quickens at the realization of who was talking. His neighbor, Squidward.
I'm calling the cops, you fuckwit.
Without a moment's hesitation, he hurls himself through the window but gets stuck. His square body was stuck in the circle window. SpongeBob lay helpless inside the window. Well, well, well. What do we have here? SpongeBob heard a voice behind him, but he couldn't turn to see who. Looks like you're in a pickle, just like your friend, huh? SpongeBob felt flooded with anger. Who was harassing him?
If I was so drunk, I would punch your eyes out.
SpongeBob swings his fist in the inside of his house, completely missing the figure behind him. You need to back off, kid, because you're next. He heard footsteps quicken and sirens blare. The cops unpopped him from the window, but there was no one else there. Must be a prank. A sickening one at that, he thought. The cops quizzed him with questions, convinced he was a common thief. By the end of the whole debacle, SpongeBob waited with his cell, charged with public intoxication. SpongeBob SquarePants, a cop retorted. Yes? SpongeBob had felt extremely hungover. His headache swarmed his head. You've been released with bail. The guard opened the gate, and the loud noise made SpongeBob flinch. Gary the Snail appeared before him. Meow. An other drunk night at the Clam, Gary said, unamused. You got me. SpongeBob stood up, and his vision blurred. It was too damn bright in here.
Just where were you last night? I lost my keys and I couldn't get in.
SpongeBob yelled at Gary like a child. Meow. None of your business, Dad. I can do whatever I want. Gary slithered in front of him, not meeting his gaze. Sounds like Gary's a bit of a angsty teen. Fucking kids, was all SpongeBob could say to himself. What a night that was. SpongeBob gets in the boat with Gary, who had managed to receive his boating license before him. That's really funny. The boat was silent at first, and heavy at that. Too heavy to keep.
You know why last night was so bad?
SpongeBob breaks the silence. I already know. You don't have to say it. I don't really know who's talking. SpongeBob's head was heavy on his shoulders. His brain was a cocktail of problems ever since the most important person in the world had been taken away from him.
Last night was the 10th anniversary of Patrick's death.
The boat was silent again. 10 years ago, SpongeBob and Patrick were running through the city, giggling over their silly antics. Running through the alleyway, they smashed into a silhouetted man. He let out a cry and turned to SpongeBob and Patrick. The shout from the alleyway is heard, and another fish across the road started to run, screaming through the city streets. He got away, says the man. He puts on a fedora. That is quite the punishable act, you know, he says. The unknown man draws a knife and slashes at SpongeBob. Oh no, he says. I guess that's SpongeBob. Half of his nose was cut off in the debacle, which never grew back. So what, he looked like Tyrion Lannister? You're dead, kid, he shouts. He slashes at SpongeBob again, who jumps back. Stay away from my friend, says Patrick. The man ignores Patrick's pleas and attacks SpongeBob again, and SpongeBob clenches his eyes. His life flashed before him. Everything from being born to joining the Krusty Krab, and everything in between with Patrick. But the knife would never land on SpongeBob. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I actually didn't laugh as much as I thought I would. I took it a little bit more seriously. Maybe since it kind of came off as serious. but it's about fucking SpongeBob SquarePants, so how can it be that serious? It was really funny, and honestly, I think it might be intentionally, intentionally goofy. I hope, but I really enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys want to see more of this. There's like 9 chapters of it so far, so I can definitely read through all of them. Let me know what you guys think of the style. I'm Midnight Siren, and I will see you guys next time.